wrestling debate.
Look on Cena's face, he gets all upset. It's like all these John Cena fans came out and they're now like converts to Bray Wyatt's,
Church.
Well,
The Church of Bray Wyatt.
The Church of Bray Wyatt.
Waiting for like John Cena to come out in like a suit, hung up by one head, going, "Power of Christ compels you."
Yeah.
And now here's Tyler.
We saw John Cena come out to be temporarily the third member of the Shield, sort of. No, maybe not. Maybe not really. If you saw the main event match, and but anyways, so interesting.
Let's just kill the gimmick now, Tyler.
Yeah, right. Interesting addition of Monday Night Raw this past week, coming off the Seth Rollins betrayal from last week. To start things off, first of all, you had Randy Orton absent. He was, I guess apparently on vacation somewhere on a sandy beach. All we really saw from him was a picture on Twitter in his swimsuit and in shades, I guess. So automatically that did make things a little different with the show when no Randy Orton. So first of all, and of course on SmackDown, we kind of talked last week. The spoilers. Seth Rollins didn't really say anything. Essentially, he kind of just said, "What he betrayed the Shield." The only person that has to know why is Seth Rollins. But so, anyways, we get to Monday Night Raw, and it's made clear, introducing the Authority. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon coming out, and basically starting off by addressing that Daniel Bryan was, I guess, stripped of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And
yes.
Nobody even saw it.
He did not. This actually got this news actually broke out. I think it was on like C Scoop and like some other sites. They already heard reports about this, and it was already rumbling supposedly internally in the company. Originally they thought, hey, he can make money in the bank and minor neck surgery and such, but and this is where it gets kind of scary for Daniel Bryan, is that Bryan supposedly started reporting on having numbness in his in his arms and that, which is not a good sign after you had neck surgery. So obviously he got reevaluated, and obviously the official doctor that was his actual doctor. They had to just do a quick interview, as actually said, he's not gonna make it.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm disappointed because this is like his third reign and it only lasted 2 months. Obviously, it's supposed to last longer than that, but it only lasted pretty much 2 months. So it was a short reign. But, then he reports about his numbness in his arms and that, scares you, but it also means, you don't rush the guy back. You give him as much time as he needs to recuperate from this injury. You don't want to see him end his career because, his one of his reigns did not, last as long as he was hoping for. So I'm actually, I'm glad about the decision. I'm glad kind of, not so much that Bryan's reigns, ending soon, but just the fact that, okay, he's gonna have time to recuperate. There's no rushing, there's no, date locked in now. He has as much time as possible. So and like I said, I'm pretty sure when he comes back, he'll be back in the title picture. It sounds like too. It sounds like that's the plan also.
Yeah. It's unfortunate and bad timing, but we talked last week too. You can't mess around with neck injuries like this. No. So, but at least it would have been nice if they actually had like a ceremony or not a ceremony, a promo or whatever, an official, where he hands the title over. Or the title, the belts.
But Tyler, I think after you've done this whole angle where it's like he hates the Authority, and I think it kind of makes his character look.
Well, they
kind of pathetic.
No, but not that. But you could have had the doctor,
especially after you've had a week of, and even bringing up the whole Brie Bella firing storyline kind of. Sounds kind of stupid now.
No, but
when you think about it, but
no, but they had the doctor say essentially, Daniel Bryan can't come back. Why couldn't they have the doctor essentially say that and then have Daniel Bryan hand over the titles and say like,
no.
When I come back,
I'll tell you why handing over the titles over on camera is a bad idea. It goes against his whole character essentially.
But at least it's just kind of, I feel left in the dark.
Especially
here.
After you do a Brie Bella. The whole Brie Bella angle on that, it looks even more
Well,
kind of
he
stupid
could have
and pathetic.
just not really because he could have said, look, the neck injuries like this, you can't, whatever, but I'll come back and I'll be better than ever.
But tell you the other point, I think too, if he has numbness in his arm, I don't think movement and walking to the ring is smart. I think any movement will for that matter is smart on his part.
Well,
Part of statue there.
I
mean, what? So he's coming out on a wheelchair? Maybe they had it over just because they don't want him.
Have some kind of hand. It's like all of a sudden the titles are hanging up there. It's like, well, this is a little strange. Like, a lot of what you just described as far as the number is news to me. It would have been nice. Maybe if they
I knew about it
more.
there because I kind of like follow some of the stuff.
Yeah, but
for
those that didn't, it's like
I would say that kind of to my detriment too, because these things could also be much like any news site online could be wrong because these are you were talking about a business that likes to keep things in the box essentially, but I felt pretty confident that this was definitely true, especially with reports of rumblings that. So I was surprised that they opened it up with the whole because obviously this is something they got just addressed right away in that. Now, I was fine with just having the title and that up there. I think you needed to have Brian be on camera one more time to say, "Oh yeah, but I'll be back, guys. I'm better than ever."
Just the fact that because the whole thing with the titles being handed over. So what did he just like behind the scenes hand them back over anyways?
It's like mailed them.
Either way.
But to me, Tyler, that adds more to the character there. He didn't want to hand him in person essentially on camera. Because he had no respect for his bosses.
Well, I don't.
That kind of goes with his character.
I just felt left in the dark. All of a sudden the titles are up there hanging. It's like this is a little awkward, but I guess it is what it is. I don't know. I just felt a little.
What Tyler? How you mean? You had no idea what the hell? You had no idea.
Well, yeah, I knew it was handed. It just didn't make.
You had no idea. Well, gee, I want to tell us up
it just didn't. It just didn't It didn't make sense to me. Like I don't know. Just every other time, they have the person hand the title over and they have to relinquish the title. Like Batista back in the day with the World Heavyweight Championship. He went out to injury and yeah, sure, it's probably against his character, but he still did it. And then, but I'm going to come back and I'm going to win, I'm going to get back the title. And, eventually that's what he did. And, I'm just talking about something about those lines. Regardless of character.
But none of those characters had a problem with their boss, essentially.
Well,
it wasn't like Batista hated Teddy Long when he handed the belt back.
But still,
it was like Edge hated. He was a heel, but he wasn't.
But you'd think that the authority would make Daniel Bryan. If
hand the belt over, but not hand it over in camera in person. If you wanted to.
Yeah,
all they care about is the belts, Tyler. They don't care about how Daniel gives the belt back to him.
Well, why wouldn't they though? They're all about embarrassing Daniel Bryan and this and that. Doing it. That's what essentially they were doing at Payback. It's like, all right, you're either going to hand the titles over in front of the camera. Or, we're going to fire Brie Bella in front of the camera.
And they did. They fired Brie Bella and they rubbed it in on Raw. They rubbed
she quit.
Okay, but she's gone. She's
but even you said fired.
She quit. Well, they made fun of how they said she was stupid, and they still did the whole B+. It wasn't like they did pick on Brian when he wasn't on.
Yeah, B+. Yeah, the whole B+ recovery thing and this and that. But still, it just I don't know. It felt like something was missing there with that segment and. I don't know. I guess the bottom line is now we have this whole ladder match for the championship is true, and we have most of the competitors, I guess, so far. And
four. Five. Bray Wyatt won against Dean Ambrose on SmackDown,
and it looks like I guess the number is 7 if you looked and you saw.
Yeah. You saw 3.
So 7.
You saw 4. 3, 4. Yeah.
That's another. It's weird how 1 year. It's just randomly they decide. All right, it's gonna be 7, but they don't tell you. It's just all right. Well, there's this many missing faces right now. We got 4 people, or now 5 and 2 missing. So you fill in the blank. I don't know. It changes each year, I guess, in each match, but. That leaves a couple more open spots, and as far as the WWE Championship, who gets it here? Cena Orton is. I think Orton.
Cena's not in the match, but I would say he is a name that's definitely going to be a pretty good.
He's
for the final 2 spots. Honestly, the final 2 spots for me, based on who's in the match already and such, Roman Reigns and John Cena probably.
Yeah, well...
for me, if you look at it from that perspective, Reigns I think Reigns and Orton could throw each other. But that's the thing too. You see Orton in there. You have one of these one member of the Shield. Well, it's only down to Ambrose and who's good. Looks like he's gonna be feuding with Rollins 1-on-1 at Money in the Bank. It looks like since Rollins and even in the promo, Ambrose was the guy that clearly called out Rollins more than Reigns did. So Ambrose clearly is gonna be the first guy to get a shot at Rollins. So I mean. I had to bet you got Reigns. It's gonna be Reigns and Cena probably.
Yeah.
Maybe you can make an argument for Kane fitting yourself in there probably. Yeah. I mean, but I had to guess it's probably I feel pretty confident with just being Reigns and Cena. I mean, if you go from that perspective, Reigns takes out Orton. I think Cena takes out Bray.
Yeah.
Del Rio's not winning it. In fact, he's usually lucky he's even going to be in this match.
It's a shocker.
I mean, tell me he was just going to be in a normal Money in the Bank ladder match, and then they had to do this whole quick because Bryan did not heal up fast enough, and they're like, okay, well he's already won his qualifier. We already made this whole stipulation, kind of about if he doesn't make it, So Del Rio's just lucky to be in this match, since he's pretty much been a jobber for the past, so he's not winning. And Sheamus already has a belt. He's not winning it, so. The only guy I see winning it right now is Cesaro.
Yeah, I mean,
as crazy as that sounds, I mean, but
then there's speculation that what if like they bring Brock Lesnar back early, and maybe he has his run here, and then loses at SummerSlam. I wouldn't mind. I mean,
he's not going to be in a ladder match.
Well, I mean, you never know. I mean,
Tyler, Brock Lesnar will not be in a ladder match.
Why not?
Because that's not how he does business. He comes back and he wrestles matches there. He's not going to risk injury and bodily harm to himself being in a ladder match in his career.
I mean, everybody's risking the same injury, though. I mean,
yeah, but they're all full-time employees. Brock is an attraction. You don't.
But I mean, he's been but still, risk, I mean, he's already been in brutal Extreme Rules matches, taking spine busters on steel steps against Triple H. He's been in a steel, this and that. It's not like he has to
not a ladder match, though. It's not like he's falling like 15 feet to the floor.
That doesn't mean he has to take any spots like that.
No, he's going to take. Everybody has to take a spot in a ladder match. It's crazy.
But it doesn't mean it. It has to be like a Shelton Benjamin. Flip off the ladder.
Here's the craziest thing too here. Depending on when Bryan comes back, of course, because there's already he can easily come back next month in July.
Yeah.
Fight Cesaro, beat Cesaro, and all of a sudden we still got Lesnar and Bryan set up for SummerSlam. Or, if Bryan doesn't come back and he even misses SummerSlam, hey, if Brock's still this, going to be fighting whoever the champion is, Cesaro makes perfect sense then.
I mean, the only thing is, like,
Bryan, the guys.
Yeah. I mean, Bryan is going to have a rematch clause. I mean, the company would be stupid if,
I don't know, Randy Orton still hasn't gotten hit.
That's the thing, yeah. Which makes me like, what if he ends up being the victor here? I mean, some people might complain because
some people would complain if Cena won too.
Yeah.
I mean,
more people would complain than
they would say they would say it's just the same names, and WWE were just being safe because they had no young guy in mind yet. But going from what you can just easily say that Cena, because I don't know who the hell he's going to feud with in the future right now.
Yeah,
I mean, and it sounds like based on what I saw in him helping the Shield out, it sounds like he still had interference with the Wyatts quick. And I think the feud's dead as far as one-on-one matches go. But you could easily make an argument where he's gonna prevent Bray Wyatt from winning or something like that. Essentially, like not to mention as of right now, I think there's like only one babyface so far in this match. I mean, Del Rio's heel. Sheamus is the only babyface. You got Cesaro who's heel. Orton's heel and Bray Wyatt's heel. Yeah. So you need at least two more baby faces to try to even this out here. So I'm looking at Roman Reigns, who's not ready for a title run, and he's supposed to feud with Triple H. And I think I think for Reigns, his next 1-on-1 feud makes sense is Randy Orton. You beat Orton,
and then Triple H.
You get to face the boss then, Triple H then essentially. I mean, for me, honestly, I think Reigns is a good bet for a Rumble win. Essentially, he's probably my favorite right now to win the next year's Royal Rumble, go to Mania and win the title then, because I really think he's setting up as really getting pushed as the next poster child, and even Seth Rollins kind of joked about it in his promo. But
the golden,
looking at the names right now, the only name that makes any sense, based on what the supposedly long-term plan is for this company, at least going up to SummerSlam, is Cesaro.
Yeah, I mean, you got Paul Heyman
Now,
guy.
some people are gonna say he's not ready for a run. I disagree. I think this guy's been long overdue for a run.
I certainly wouldn't complain if Cesaro won. I mean, more people would complain if Cena won or than if Cesaro won. So yeah, I mean that's not out of the question. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I mean, who else are they going to throw? They're going to throw Kane in. And then, like, if they throw, like, Roman, if Roman Reigns is the match, then, there's going to be too much else going on with, him and Orton. And, I don't know, maybe there'll be some kind of interference again, I mean, with the whole semi-evolution. I don't know. Now this week, it was more like, the Authority and then Seth Rollins solo while Randy Orton was on vacation. And, so that obviously threw things off a little bit. There was no like new evolution thing going on Raw. So.
But like I said, and the only guy that might make some shock people is Bray Wyatt, but I don't think he's ready for the belt. But I'm just
I mean,
since it sounds like that Brock, who is a heel and probably the biggest heel in the company ever since and the streak and such,
who's only I mean,
it's going to be a baby face now. I don't see it being Reigns because he's already locked in to face Triple H at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to see Cena versus Brock too, unless Brock's winning, maybe.
Right.
But to me, it's Cesaro because that's a new name, it's a new face, it's somebody who's kind of been hanging around for a little bit.
Yeah.
He's really gained momentum. He slammed Big Show. They've really shown off that this guy's a very strong, very athletic. For a big guy.
Yeah.
And so I would not be shocked if Cesaro won it.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
That's Giant Battle Royal.
As Paul Heyman, points out. Yeah, and of course, speaking of that little part, you had the fake, or I guess Paul Heyman faking a Brock Lesnar return there, and then bringing out Cesaro. And that was pretty good. But he had everybody there. But yeah, I mean, I guess that that kind of for now as far as the title goes. I mean, I guess we'll see who else they throw in. I mean, we kind of have an idea who they're going to throw in the title match, but yeah, it's going to be odd. Nobody carrying around a Money in the Bank briefcase. I guess this year.
Well, here's the other rumor now. It sounds like that they still want to go for a second ladder match, maybe.
Yeah.
Who's going to be in that ladder match? I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, you already have a lot of I mean, I don't know. Maybe they throw guys like Bad News Barrett.
Well, that's what I'm thinking there too. And like I said, you could easily. It was supposed to be the original concept, like I said, SummerSlam, which was that it was going to be Bryan Lesnar, Brock won, but all of a sudden Cesaro, who was going to win Money in the Bank, comes out, cashes in, and pins Brock. Then kind of setting up this kind of maybe even Lesnar, because technically Lesnar's going to be working at Night of Champions too, which is the next pay per view then. So suppose I was going to say maybe a Cesaro, maybe Bryan Lesnar feud then, maybe at Night of Champions. So might just anyway, that's why Cesaro makes sense for me winning the championship, because it sounds like that's the plan all along.
Yeah.
Is to have a Cesaro Lesnar. Why not just go into it?
Paul Heyman,
Because if he's going to supposedly win it, whether it's Money in the Bank or not, why not just have him win it in the ladder match then?
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. And then plus you got, Battleground between those, SummerSlam. So, I mean, that kind of in the mix a little bit there too. So, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll wait and see, who the other competitors are. And if they do actually, come up with another Money in the Bank briefcase match. I mean, I don't know. That might be like a match. They might throw in other people and a way to use Big Show or something like I don't know. Just people.
Like I said, if it's gonna be a second Money in the Bank ladder match, they're not gonna go through qualifiers. I think they're just gonna announce names. They've done at one point too. They just announced the whole who's in the match, and there you go.
I mean, there's only a couple more weeks now until. I mean, we've already gone through 2 Raws, so and most of the other Money in the I guess now the WWE Championship ladder match. Is essentially has most of the people already, so I don't know. So we'll wait and see what they do there. But yeah, I mean that's that. But I mean obviously, interesting night of Raw. I mean you had Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Still now the 2-man Shield. Kind of called out by 3MB, and within 2 seconds of 3MB even mentioned the Shield, already their music hits and they come out, 2 seconds later. So all right, we've had enough already, and they just come out and predictably they destroy 3MB.
Mm-hmm.
Spear on the stage by Roman Reigns, and then that led to a pretty gruesome promo there. I mean, great work by Dean Ambrose, rather visual, and
Yeah.
and Roman Reigns, kind of throwing out a little bit of I don't know, maybe non PG words there. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you don't piss in the wind, and
Yes.
I remember a couple years ago I thought they blanked that out. I don't know, but not right now. And
No, but
good work
I don't know.
there.
I mean, there's some people criticizing Reigns promo. To me, it's just that he hasn't talked on the mic that much. I mean,
I mean, but when like people know he's gonna talk, I mean, people still like you can tell like the crowd picks up even
yeah,
at
yeah. I mean, like I said, to me, Rollins has proven to be like a very strong guy on the mic, and
yeah,
Ambrose has proven to be a character,
right, yeah.
especially the interesting words he
That
picked
was I mean
to Rollins.
the visual
The visual
details.
description,
That
yes.
was great. I mean, just like the instability you could it was great
Dean
work.
Ambrose could be the next horror star in a WWE Studios film if
Yeah,
they wanted to. Really, he just has that face of like this
yeah,
guy. This is not a
exactly.
guy you want to mess with. Like
Yeah,
I mean, Reigns has a look too. But he's a big guy now, so
yeah,
his size intimidates you. Ambrose's face and the looks he gives you
right.
just like makes you want
Yeah,
to like walk to the side of the sidewalk maybe.
yeah,
So I don't know. I mean, but to me it looks like it's gonna be Rollins versus I mean versus
Ambrose and
Ambrose.
yeah,
And like I said, I just think that these reigns of nobody. I just throw him in the ladder match. Why not?
yeah. Because I mean, then like he can still face Orton at Battleground, and then after that, I mean, he can then face Triple H
Yeah.
at SummerSlam. So it seems like that's probably the direction they're going to go there. So I don't. It'd be interesting to see what happens there. And I don't know. Maybe Ambrose and Rollins have a match. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
because then where does that leave Ambrose? I mean, they're not going to have him just be a manager for Reigns.
No.
The other.
No.
So yeah. I mean, let's just see where that goes. But yeah. I mean, it was good stuff. I mean, yeah. I mean, Roman Reigns. I guess it started out a little awkward, but
Yeah.
then the rest of the promo I thought was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then basically saying, Seth, speak your justice or your peace or whatever,
Yeah.
and we're gonna come out and beat the hell out of you, and so that was good. And then a little later on, you had that Seth Rollins promo. Well, I guess it was like a sit down interview with
Yes.
Michael Cole,
Michael Cole.
but
Yes.
for the most part, yeah, I mean promo, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I mean,
I thought it was pretty good.
do you think the reasoning was probably a good one
For like
for
that
the
he was
split?
like the
For the
architect
split.
of the
Well, when I had none of that, like, oh, the other two were holding us back, and
yeah. I mean,
clearly, I was the only true guy who could, foresee the future or something, like something like that. Like, I
yeah,
was the only because that's pretty much what they were going with. I mean, some
yeah,
people said, honestly, my excuse would have just been, look, I did it for the money.
yeah.
They offered me.
What? Yeah,
I mean, because look, the whole concept of the Shield in the original beginning was they were hired assassins.
yeah,
They accepted money to beat
yeah,
people up.
yeah,
So I could easily believe it that this is the authority, the boss, with
yeah,
supposedly, Triple H here. Who's to say he didn't just throw some money
yeah.
Seth's way
Exactly.
to
Like,
stab his two guys in the back?
yeah, like last week. Yeah, like you would have thought that last week, like when that happened, like okay, like he did like kind of the joint evolution there
Yeah.
in a sense, like
Yeah.
between the earlier on in the show and that point when Batista quit
Mm-hmm.
and when Seth Rollins turned on the Shield. You would have thought there would have been some deal behind closed doors that Triple H
Yeah.
came up with there. Now it's like I don't know. So maybe it's just like Seth Rollins is hiding that right now, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you would
A
think
lot of people said it was it was pretty weak. It sounds like based on what I was
like the
looking on.
reasoning that
The reasoning was kind of pretty weak. Not that it was bad. It wasn't what some people were hoping they were going to go for.
it just wasn't like
Yeah.
what people thought it would be. It wasn't. I don't know. It didn't. It kind of was just like brief and I don't know, shallow. I guess you could say. I mean, it didn't. I mean, yeah. I mean, to accomplish. I mean, obviously, to accomplish more as a single, maybe a single.
A single
but,
star. Yeah, the show was never really like a tag team.
Right.
It was supposed to get this group of individuals that just had like a common goal.
Yeah, and again, like I think it was weird because like for the most part, the only time you really saw like Triple H and Seth Rollins on camera. Was at like the end of the show. After,
well, they were on main event together. Too. I actually watched the main event.
I mean,
where Dolph Ziggler pretty much came out. Actually, cut a pretty solid promo.
On SmackDown, you mean?
No, well, yeah, they fought on SmackDown, but they also.
But then on main
event, which was like yesterday. That Rollins cut pretty much the usual promo. He actually pretty much cut the same promo on Raw. He went a little more details, pretty much saying all he needed was a window. Like he wanted to always break up from the Shield. Essentially, what he said, but he just needed a window. And he said George gave me that window. Essentially, and he took it.
Right.
Now, does that mean? Oh well, he promised me a pay increase, or I mean, I get my own theme song now. I get to wear, whatever the reasoning is. It sounded like Triple H, just gave me that window. I always want to do this, but Triple H gave me the window, and to finally the opportunity to finally do it. So
we'll probably. I mean, I think we'll probably learn more when they have one of those promos where Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns are in the ring and Seth Rollins is on the stage, maybe with Triple H and Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Maybe that might be when we learn more. Because obviously, if like Seth Rollins comes into the ring or something, and he's not just going to come into the ring when the Shield is standing there, and that's when a fight's going to break out. So, so yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be one of those things, really. Because, and again, I think it was, it kind of threw things off a little bit that Orton wasn't there this week because. The whole idea then of like it being like evolution now with Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
that wasn't really there.
To me, I didn't think it was. It was like I felt like, oh yeah, but this show's really missing Randy Orton right now.
I didn't think so either. It just like it just kind of changed.
To me, it felt like this was the Seth Rollins show.
Yeah, it was.
And
more,
the whole show was around this whole
him,
angle, which would make sense. I mean, Seth Rollins was trending on Twitter for 48 straight hours after his turn. So why would you not think this was a cash cow opportunity? Right. So why not make this the blueprint? And maybe that meant, telling Randy, we don't really need you for the show. You can go a week-long break.
Yeah.
And in wrestling, Tyler, if you get offered a week-long break, you take it.
Right, yeah.
Yesterday I did pull out.
So, but yeah, I mean, you can't blame him. But yeah, I mean, that, and it was just different also just because, for like the first time in like a couple months, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon actually came out together to the ring, and, that was different too. I mean, because he had this whole Evolution feud going on. Triple H was not really in the authority mode, I guess you could say now. But this past week, he kind of was. And at the end, you had a great match with, well, I guess we didn't even get to that yet when, after Seth Rollins, did a decent job, I think, though, nevertheless, with Michael Cole.
Oh, I'd say no one said it was a bad promo.
No, it's just
the way Rollins is one of the strongest guys in the Shield with promo.
Yeah, it was good.
Promos go. I'd say the reasoning that he gave was not maybe the best reason.
Which is in the hands of WWE. That's more on WWE creative there.
But then again, since like pretty much the rumors was that this was just, the only reason why they decided to split Rollins from the group essentially was they just wanted to mix it up for the summer essentially.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, oh, well, we had this logical reason to it. It was more of, we need really a game-changing storyline in this feud, and why not just have the Shields, split?
Yeah.
And obviously, I guess they felt Rollins made the most sense. I mean,
and
actually, if you look at when he looks like they were originally going to split them up before Mania, Rollins was the guy that was having arguments with Ambrose and Reigns anyway. Like, he even abandoned. He was
like trying to keep them together and
and then he abandoned him on that Raw. I mean, so he made probably the most sense. He was going to be the guy eventually going to turn as a
and like I mean, Dean Ambrose, in the way like Dean Ambrose cut his promo, you would, he works as a baby face too. I mean, I always thought like, he'll make a great heel on his own, but that promo just worked, worked perfectly for him, even though it's, like an unstable character, but yeah, I mean, that was.
So was Mankind too. Mankind was an unstable character, and it worked as a baby face.
But it worked,
too.
It worked as a So that's that's good stuff. And
I don't know if Dean Ambrose is going to be the next Mick Foley. I kind of hope not, and I think Mick Foley would hope so too, because he's already told people he regrets every almost career decision he's made in wrestling, because it's the reason why he can barely walk and so on, and
So yeah, but then that eventually led to the. The basically Seth Rollins claim, I spoke my piece, and that's when obviously the Shield comes out, now Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns and to attack, and of course the Wyatt family was set to face them in the main event later on.
Yep.
Of course Triple H kind of saying like,
because Go try to find a third
only
partner.
2 of them. Yeah.
Go
I
find
guess
a third,
they got to find somebody.
Go find a third partner because it should be half the locker room.
Yeah. So then that's when.
I kind of had a feeling it was going to be Cena. So there's a lot of people. I kind of was hoping it wasn't going to be. I had a feeling it was going to be Cena.
I mean,
I had that feeling. It's like Cena's going to be on this in this show some way somehow.
And it just
makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I don't know. And then when he came running, it was just like that feeling, like when the nerd comes out and crashes a pool party or something like that. And I don't know.
Well, I mean, the whole logic is well. This way, the logic was there's nobody else on the card that made any sense to go to team up. Yeah. I get that. The logic was, well, the Shield really need a boost from John Cena from a crowd reaction. It's like I think from a crowd perspective, I think the Shield's more over than Cena is from a crowd perspective.
Now, yeah, and then if you go to the match too, which was it was a good match. I mean, it was pretty.
I mean, that was the argument the whole parent Usos with Cena at one point too. Was no, Cena's hoping these guys get over. I'm like, I feel like they already are over. They don't need the poster child to come out and help them get over.
Yeah, and to do that.
Do you know who might maybe need that is maybe Adam Rose might need a John Cena to get him over.
Maybe, yeah.
Like someone who's getting no reaction might need the poster child to help out.
Yeah.
But I never felt like the Shield ever needed that. Now I don't think that's. I think the reason there's nobody else on this roster right now that makes any sense to just team up and face the Wyatts, which technically is the number 1 heel stable. Maybe number 2 behind the Authority, that's still a stable technically.
Yeah, in some.
And the Shield is number 2 babyface, and look, Cena's the poster child. He's number 1. So, there's really only one guy right now on the roster that makes any sense to team up the Shield.
Yeah.
In the main event. So I mean,
it definitely made for an interesting dynamic, just because you got the Shield in their black vests and this and that, and seeing him in his bright green armbands and all that.
Still holding up still holding up the small the
little towel.
Never give him towel.
It's like yeah. I mean,
I thought you beat Bray Wyatt. I thought the crusade was over. Yeah. I thought C Nation won. I mean, what's with this little towel? I mean,
you got the Shield, the only guys that come down through the aisles, and and they're black, and then and then you got Cena coming out with all the the tech. Not pyrotech, but all the flash on the Titantron.
That's all Cena needs now is pyrotechnics to his entrance.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, so that made for I guess an interesting dynamic later on in the match, the main event. It was a good match, definitely. I mean, it went like 20 minutes, and but yeah, I mean, it was interesting because Cena did not do too much at all in this, because if you notice, for most of the match, like the Shield was just kind of tagging each other, and then you had Dean Ambrose stuck in there for a long time. And eventually, Cena did get in the match, but basically to do his 5 moves of doom, and then just kind of get knocked out, and then after that, he didn't really do anything throughout the match.
Well, he did get the pinfall, and that's what I figured.
Exactly.
I figured somebody in the show needed to get the pinfall if they were going to win this match.
Yeah.
It made no sense to have Cena come out and get the pinfall.
Yeah, I mean, Cena did like a cross body, and then I think he got like knocked out or something, and then he didn't really do anything. He got nailed by the Sister Abigail, and then he was kind of out the rest of the match. And then like Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns kind of just took, did the rest of the work on their own, and then Roman Reigns gets the spear and the pinfall. So and then Cena recovers, and so I mean I thought that was interesting. Cena didn't really do a whole lot here. He didn't He didn't really get a lot of momentum going in the long run, and really it was kind of like Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns with them getting the win here, and Cena at the end kind of like raising both of their hands, and so I don't know if that's going to play into next week at all or anything else, but going forward, but
they were. But then again, you had Cena come out and defend Bryan last week too.
It's against Stephanie McMahon.
If his next feud is against the Authority, I think that's a bad idea. I mean, if the whole idea is, well, he's got a feud with Kane now, because Kane needs an opponent.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, just foam in the ladder match.
Yeah, I mean most likely. I guess that's what
it's been the main event in a couple of reviews. Why not just foam in the main event? Don't win the main event. Foam in the main event.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's that. I guess we'll wait and see how that turns out. But yeah, I mean the Shield looking strong. Again after last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would have thought maybe like there'd be a. Well, then again, I didn't think that Orton wasn't going to be at the show, but I would have thought maybe there'd be like a week where, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns they just get like beat up, and it goes to show like, oh man, like there's now that they're missing Seth Rollins and they don't have the numbers game anymore, but they look strong this week.
Well,
in the main
I
event.
mean, Tyler, I think a lot of people are already saying, well, man, they're down to two guys. Clearly not going to be as strong as these two. I think the whole 3MB beat up was to show
that
no. Even with two guys, these guys are so good and talented that they don't even need a third guy.
Well, even JBL said like when the Shield was coming out, like, oh, 3MB is going to need more guys. So yeah, I mean,
that actually was pretty cool. Pretty cool how the beat up was too. Yet Ambrose just staring down Heath Slater. And all of a sudden, I know where Reigns just spears the hell out of him. I didn't even know who Reigns was for a while.
Like the camera angle, the initial camera angle, I think messed it up.
But he had to run pretty much through the crowd and get up to the stage area and get behind Slater quick and then spear him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty impressive right there. I mean, actually, the angle even missed the spear. Right
they were showing the ring.
Vince McMahon was not happy in a grill position.
They were from the ramp. They were showing the ring, and then you hear Michael Cole go, "Oh, spear," and it's well, we can't see it, and then when they show the replay,
they show a different angle. They showed actually.
So yeah, I mean,
where I saw it, somebody missed their cue in the camera.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, anyways, I mean, be interesting to see next week. Maybe when Orton's back from his his vacation.
It's week break, which I'm sure he definitely deserves.
Which he deserves.
He deserves.
Big work.
We've been working in many dates like Orton has. Right. You get told, hey, week break for you,
and they'll probably I mean they'll probably play into that next week. Like he
didn't even need to go for a qualifier to qualify for the main event. He just got handed it.
Yeah.
Tell you he need to show up most of the weeks. Now it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, next week, Triple H will probably be like, so Orton, how's your vacation and this and that, and maybe it'll kind of be like another with Triple H, Orton, and now Seth Rollins together. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens next week when, everybody's probably back there then, and then we'll be another week closer to Money in the Bank.
2 weeks away, technically.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll be getting close to that, I guess, right around the corner. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything right now. With the great wrestling debate today, and Monday Night Raw this past week. I mean, again, we'll see what happens on SmackDown and everything else going on, and then we'll definitely look forward to Raw next week, and then talk about it right here on the Great Wrestling Debate. So, thanks for tuning in as always.